Hello, this is Scott from Astro Northwest, and I'm sitting here in the middle of the day, thinking about tonight, which is going to be a great night with very few clouds, and then tomorrow night is going to be even better. It's going to be all zeros. So I think what I'll do is use my FLT 132, my William Optics right there, tonight, and get some objects that are suitable for that. And then tomorrow I'm going to put my Rasa back on there, see if I can get some, real big sky shots, like maybe the Veil again with the whole thing in there. And then maybe if some things come up in Sagittarius that I can actually see, like maybe the Trifid and the Lagoon, I should be able to get those together with the Rasa as well. So we'll see. I'm not sure I can get them. I got the Eagle the other night with my FLT, and it was pretty low. So from my backyard, I don't know if I can actually see, right down into the lower part of the teapot, where all the good stuff is. But if not, maybe I'll just get, I'll get some other stuff. Maybe I can go up to Seder or whatever, and get some big regions up there. It's clear sky up there anyway, compared to what I see down on the horizon. But I thought today I would let you have a look at some of the pictures I have gotten, since most of my videos are equipment related or process related. I haven't really been able to show a whole lot of my my finished products, so because there haven't been any. I've been having a lot of problems with, I believe mostly it comes down to my USB cables are too long, and I finally got my my little micro camera, or my micro computer, figured out, which is right here. And then I just got this, the Pegasus power block, or whatever they call it, which I don't know, may or may not help take care of my communication issues. But hopefully I will be able to connect my computer on my desk, on my desk here, to the laptop outside. I think I've got all my communications issues worked out, and I moved one of my Wi-Fi modules into the kitchen, which is right adjacent to my deck, and it should only be about 15 or 20 feet away. So I'm hoping that does the trick. If not, then I guess I'll have to be spending my time outside like Trevor does on Astro Backyard. I really want to stay inside though if I can. So I'm going to switch my camera to the front view, and I'll show you a few of the shots that I've taken on my, let's see, yeah, these are all on my William Optics 132. This is a 180 or 163C QHY color camera, and I will tell you right up front, I didn't take enough care focusing these images, and there are some donuts in there, unfortunately, but that's okay. They're just my first pictures, and I was concentrating on other stuff, like trying to get the equipment running and having it not crash and stop working, and focus looked good to me, and turned out it wasn't quite on there. But anyway, I'll take them again. There's plenty of time, hopefully. So here we go. Let me switch. Ooh, it doesn't want to do it. Okay, I'll just turn it around. Let you see it that way. See that way. Here is nothing. Okay, that was going to be my M13. Some of these pictures, I need to do some work on actually figuring out what kind of format these pictures like to be in, so that I can show them to people. I thought this would come up. This was, oh yeah, there it is. Okay, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. So here's my M13, which I'm pretty happy with. You know, like I said, that there's a few donuts in there, and I could focus it better in the future. It may be because my automatic focuser is still not quite stable enough. I might have to add another strut or something onto it to make it really solid, especially when it's vertical like this object is. So, you know, because I have noticed that when I use it, it does have a little issue with focus. So hopefully you're seeing this. That was my first attempt at stacking the Eagle M16. And you can see, you know, all these stars in here are kind of pink, and all the other stars are kind of, you know, washed out looking and everything. So I didn't I didn't like that one. And then I found out when I stacked M13 that uh, my stacking was not optimized, and so I used a different method, and it turned out really well. In fact, let me see if I can show you what I used. It's not gonna let me see it. Let's see. It's not gonna let me show it. Anyway, it's one of the selections that that I chose worked out really well. So let me show you the other Eagle, my new Eagle. Okay, doesn't want to come up. Come on. There it is. Here's my new Eagle. I think that looks a lot better. The stars are a lot brighter. I didn't crop it in so much, and now you can see all this nebulosity all around it, all the way down even into here. You can see the, you know, some nice darker stuff up in these blue clouds. And I noticed, you know, on my raw image, the image came out blue. It was like this, you know, it was kind of like this blue shade. So I wanted to kind of keep the final image in the blue, but also show that, you know, these stars in here are illuminating this area and turning it, you know, more of a purple or even a pink color. And these are the colors that came out. I couldn't make them any more red, you know, than what they are. So I'm assuming that that's actually what the data is telling me. But I think that's not bad. You know, I'm pretty happy with that. Hopefully you guys can see this. I'm not able to see my screen. Let's see. Let's go to my veil, which I have on my screensaver. So here's my veil. You know, I was just trying to see what I could get. I wasn't really trying to frame it or anything, and I missed a lot of stuff over in here on this particular one. This is the East Nebula. But again, you know, this was only probably 40 minutes worth of data on this object, but I'm happy with the background. I'm happy with the colors that I got, and this had the same focus as the other ones that were slightly out and showing a few donuts. So unfortunately, those are in there, but maybe I can figure out a way to eliminate those in Photoshop, but that's cheating according to Dylan, and I don't want to cheat. So anyway, I like the look of this. I see a lot of over processed images where these are just kind of glowing and really burning the color into the image, and this is really more what I see when I look at this object, you know, through a visual telescope. This is kind of how it looks to me, and I wanted to kind of keep that feeling with it, so that it looks like the wispy little thing that it appears to be in a visual telescope. So, and I think I succeeded. I like the way that looks. And let's see, there's the Eagle Avail M13. Oh, and my son, he's got his telescope is the Meade LX85 with the 115 APO refractor on it. This was his very first image, and I just wanted to put this out because that's awesome. You know, he took this with a non what do you call that? De-redded or de-red filtered camera. This was just my old Olympus 10 megapixel SLR, and he stuck it on his telescope, and this is what he got, and I think that's pretty darn good for his first image. So yeah, I'm real proud of him for that, and hopefully he'll turn into a really good astrophotographer. He's been helping me out with my images too, just helping me, because I've had 2 back surgeries and I have a bad neck, and I sometimes with the refractor I have a really hard time looking straight up at targets, like for alignment, for my 2-star alignment and things like that, where I can't get my head around and underneath my laser red dot finder. And so he gets in there and helps me, and he drives it to the star and helps me get it all aligned and stuff. And sometimes, I'll need him to be out there on the scope, and I'll yell out, things that I need him to do with the controller to center things, because my buttons weren't working in APT. Hopefully they will tonight. I think I've got that fixed also. But anyway, there it is. That's the sum of my accomplishments. I think I also have an M3, but I've already showed that one. That was kind of my very first light on the FLT 132, and that was an okay picture. I should go back and restack that data, and it'll look a lot more like why don't these things open the first time? It'll look a lot more like my M13 picture, I think. Well, that's a real close-up. Anyway, that's it. Hopefully tonight I'll have some more luck and my stuff will work, and I'll be able to get some more photos to show you. And my whole site is about a guy starting from scratch with digital photography, and kind of going through the pains and the growing pains and the disappointments of stuff, complicated stuff, not all working right, and just my journey through, trying to gain an understanding of what the heck I'm doing. And I'm getting there. I think a lot of my problems are because equipment doesn't want to work right, but probably a lot of that is my own problem. So let me show you just some things that I've done in the past. I gotta turn my light on for this. Back when I was a fledgling astrophotographer in the late 80s and early 90s, I took a few shots of some stuff with film, with hypered film. And so I'm going to show you, a few of these. Here is, I think that's my Eagle Nebula. Hopefully you can see that. This was a hypered film that I took up in Table Mountain, probably around 1990-ish, or 92 maybe. And that was with illuminated reticle and manual guiding with my eyeball. And that was probably a 30-minute exposure right there. And that's how I ended up with a sore neck. Okay, next Here's the Omega. And, you know, I think the guys at the Photoshop down at Roby's just, you know, these just all just came out of the machine and they printed them up, and they, I think they printed me up some better pictures, you know, with, you know, that were burned in a little more and had a little bit more darkness. You know, they worked on the contrast a little bit for me and got them to look better, but those are all mounted and stuffed in a box somewhere. Here's my Andromeda Galaxy, which I don't remember how long this was. It wasn't super long, probably 30 or 40 minutes. These are all from Table Mountain, I believe, all around the same time frame. I did a little whirlpool, and this was with my 10-inch LX200 f6.3, I think, which I still have that OTA, and I've converted it to use on my my CEM60 mount, but I haven't actually put it on there and used it yet. So I'll get to it eventually, just to see what it does. Here's another M13 from back in the day on film. It's kind of burned out in the middle. My new one is not, and you can see stars all the way to the center. And let's look at the Lagoon. Here's my Lagoon. A lot of these also had donut stars in them too, which seems to be my issue right now. Everything else is looking good, but my focus is terrible. I know what the problem is. I just need to take care of it. Let's see. This is kind of a fun picture. Me and an old Boeing Astronomy Club buddy, Keith Mackey, up by Mount Rainier, and this was a couple of days before my second daughter was born, sometime in October, I think this was. And the cool part about this night is once it got real dark, and that's the moon in the background there. Once it got real dark, we could see a nice big green aurora in the east, sort of in the northeast, which is behind where this camera is. This is looking southwest. But so we got some pictures of auroras that day. Here's my double cluster. Some nice color in the stars there. This is an object I want to get as soon as I can. I've got a lot of trees in my backyard that kind of block that part of the sky up in the northeast. So I might have to wait for this to come around to the, you know, more to the west. And there's my little tiny ring nebula right there. I didn't realize how small this was in comparison to, say, the dumbbell M27, but the M27 is way larger. So if you're a first-time photographer, astrophotographer, and you want to see something bigger, and you're trying to choose between the ring and the dumbbell, choose the dumbbell. It's brighter. Oh yeah, here's that aurora that we saw in the east on that one night. That's pretty cool. We took some time exposures, and of course you got the smearing stars, but we just wanted to get it, you know, see what we could do with it, and that's it. Here's an Orion I took with my LX200 from my driveway, I believe, back at my old house. And boy, even Brett's first effort at that looks a lot better. Here's another one that I took probably the same night. I don't know. I'm not sure where this came from, but it was just another one from back in the 90s. And if you're old enough, you remember Hale-Bopp. I was able to get that one a guided exposure on that one for a while. I think that was guided, or maybe it was just like a minute, because the stars are a little smeared. Yeah, I might have done like a minute or two. Anyway, that was a great time. Now we have Neowise, which is kind of cool. I have not ventured out to see that. And here's the Bodes Galaxy, Bodes, whatever they're called, galaxies. And those are some more that I need to get just the right timing on those, because there's some trees that block them. But I think if I get them between the trees and I can get my equipment working, I can probably get an hour on those, and maybe a couple of nights of doing that. And this is the core of, I believe, Hale-Bopp. These pictures are all whatever, 25 years old, something like that, or more, so they're kind of scratched up. But yeah, that was my core shot of, I believe, Hale-Bopp, or it could have been Hyakutake, but I think just by looking at it, I believe, let's see, oh, I have it. Yeah, it is Hyakutake. So yeah, that's what it looked like through my telescope. And so that was probably one of my very first astrophotos ever. And that's kind of fun, to have that. That was a beautiful sort of aquamarine, greenish looking comet that really kind of sparked my interest in astrophotography, back 30 years ago. And so that's it. Hopefully I'll have some more stuff to show you after tonight and tomorrow night. I'm really just starting to learn to use Photoshop, and I can already see that I need to get some add-ons to some of the stuff that Trevor talks about, like denoising and some of the other stuff. And then once I'm fairly competent in that, I'm gonna completely change horses in the middle of the stream and get PixInsight and see if I can learn to use that, because that's got some cool stuff too. And I know a lot of guys use both of them together on the same images. So one versus the other, I don't know what's best, and maybe one does one thing better than the other, and vice versa. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm keeping my fingers crossed and hoping that I can get something tonight, that my stuff works, my cameras turn on. I've been trying to get M101, and every time I get it in there, I get it centered, I've got guiding, everything looks beautiful, and my main camera will not produce an image. And I think that's all just because of my long USB cords. So that's why I got the mini computers, to eliminate those cords. And of course, that night I couldn't connect with that either, because my network's settings had been changed when I upgraded to Windows 10 Pro, so that I could use the desktop, remote desktop function, because both computers have to have that on them in order for them to work. So now I've got it on both computers, and I'm going to try my luck tonight, see how it works. Hopefully it will. I've had it work before, so I'm thinking I should be successful tonight. All right, well, that's it. If you enjoyed this, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and wish me luck. See you later.